Hello beautiful and welcome to Mawaheb home. How to make an essential oil candle. I rave about my essential oil candles, and I always tell you how my first candle that I've ever made was an essential oil candle. So today I'm going to take you through step by step on how to make your own essential oil candle at home. So let's get into it. Today I just thought we'd mix it up a little bit and film in the kitchen, and I want you guys to just fully focus on the candles rather than me being in the photo. But you guys can see me, my hands are there. First things first, what you need is a jar of your choice. I love making my essential oils in these amber jars because it protects the essential oils from the sunlight. So I prefer a dark or colored jar when I'm working with essential oils, and I have two of those. I've got my chosen essential oils, and these are from the brand Nikura or Nikura. I'm probably butchering the name, but I'll link them down below. This is lavender true and rose geranium, my two favorite essential oils to always work with. And I also have my wicks, and the wicks of choice that I'm going for is a Stabilo 6 and a Stabilo 7. I have tested a Stabilo 8 in these jars. It was a little bit too big for it, so I'm going to try the Stabilo 7 and the Stabilo 6. Next up, you guys, you will need a candle jug of your choice. So you will need a mixing tool. This can be found in your kitchen. You will need a wick holder to hold your wick in place. If you don't have wick holders, especially when you're beginning, you can use 2 pencils, 2 pens, chopsticks to hold your wick together. You will also need some double-sided sticker to stick the wick into your candle jar. So we have that as well. And of course, you'll need your measuring jug to measure your wax, and that goes like this. Because I measure my essential oils in milliliters, I'm going to go for a 10 milliliter beaker, which I will link everything down below. You will need a thermometer because you need to make sure that your wax doesn't overheat. And that is about everything that you need, you guys. So what we'll do is, first things first, is I want to start wicking my jars. And what I usually do is I grab my wick of choice. In today's video it will be Stabilo 7, but please, you can use any wick series that you have at home to test with your wax and your fragrance. So this is a Stabilo 7 that I'm starting with. I will get my jar opened. I will grab my double-sided sticker, place my wick on the double-sided sticker just like so, and then remove it. And then what you'll need to do, the best way that I like to wick my jars is standing up, you guys. So I'm going to bring you closer. I'm literally standing up, and when you stand up, your eyes will naturally go into the middle of the jar. So that's what I'm literally doing right now. And there you go, right in the middle. Literally the easiest way to wick your jar is standing up. And then you secure your wick at the bottom of your jar because you wouldn't want your wick to move around when you're undergoing your burn test. There we go. Next up, you'll place your wick in place, and you'll leave that to the side and wick the next jar. Another thing that I usually do is note down all the notes on a piece of paper, so for one, I don't forget what wick I'm using, and for two, I don't lose sight or I forget at what temperature I poured my essential oils, at what temperature I heated my wax. So I need to make sure that I keep on top of these things. So that's what I literally do. I put all the information that I need and I place it right here. Next up, we will repeat the same process, but for the second amber jar. And this time I'm using a Stabilo 6. And again, you peel off the sticker. You place your wick on the double-sided sticker. And then you stand up like so. This is perfect, right in the middle where I want it. And then you secure your wick into the jar. If you don't have a wick holder at home, guys, you can get 2 chopsticks and literally place the chopsticks right here and then center your wick. You could also put elastic bands at the end of each end of the chopsticks, so it stops the chopsticks from moving and it secures the wick in the middle, but that's a little DIY tip for you. However, I do love my wick holders, so I'm going to use these instead. Next up is the wax. Usually me wicking my candles takes me the longest, so I like to do this at the beginning. As for my wax of choice, I love using my RCX wax with my essential oils. I've got my measuring scale here. I'm sure you all have one at home from cooking and baking. You can buy a candle jug from a candle supplier, or alternatively, I'm sure you guys will have something that looks like this at home. You can measure your wax in this too, if you don't have a candle jug. My favorite tool is this tool that one of my lovely subscribers recommended, and honestly it makes cutting through block waxes so much easier, and I'll also link these down below. I highly recommend if you work with blocked waxes. My candle calculations for today will be 143 grams worth of wax. Let me just move this out of the way a little bit so you can see a little bit both my candles and my wax. Can you guys see that? I will place my measuring jug, or any jug of choice that you have at home, on your measuring scale. Turn on your scale and also tare it. You need to make sure that you tare your scales so the measuring scale does not count the weight of your candle jug. Next up, we are going to do the fun part, which is measuring the wax. As you guys can see here, I have a few loose waxes, so I'm going to literally pick it up and drop it into my candle jug like so. And this is 143 grams worth of wax. Next up, my lovelies, is your double boiler. You can use any pan of choice that you have at home and your stove. You don't need a portable stove. I just find this very easy for when I film. So what you'll do is you literally turn your stove on and put it on low heat. You wouldn't want your water to be so boiling, because if water gets in contact with the wax, your wax becomes super lumpy and it's not a good look. It has happened to me before. So you'd want to keep your boiling temperature at its minimal, and that should be enough to melt your wax. So you literally just place the wax into your double boiler, and then we'll go ahead and start measuring our fragrance. So as you guys know, I love rose geranium, and I recently ran out, so I decided to shop a rose geranium essential oil from Nikura. And I really wanted to, I'm probably saying this wrong by the way, but I really wanted to try how good their essential oils are in terms of quality, hot throw and cold throw. I don't usually use their essential oils. I've never used them before. I will link the two companies that I use essential oils from. They are my favorite. It's always worth to try something new. What I need is my 10 milliliter beaker that I spoke to you guys about earlier. What you'll need to do is literally measure up to 7 milliliters. Now when you do the calculations of how much fragrance you'll need with the wax, you'll come up to 7 grams. But because the essential oils come in drop form, it's gonna take a very long time to measure 7 grams. So instead what I use is 7 milliliters. You literally just convert the grams to milliliters. So I have a video of how to calculate your fragrance and your wax, and I'll place it down below. Oh my god, this smells amazing. It's so weird talking to you and not seeing you, and I hope you can hear me up there. So 7 milliliters, literally, if you guys can see this, 7 milliliters is here, so that's where I need to stop. Today I'm just gonna go for rose geranium with one of my candles, and another candle I'm going to do rose geranium and lavender. So let's do that together. And 7 milliliters is all ready to go. Now we wait for my wax to melt. And I also need my thermometer to keep an eye out on my wax. I literally turn it on and then place it right here. I keep my mixing tool near me just in case I need it, so I can help the heat spread throughout the wax, and that will also stop your wax from overheating. My wax has completely melted, so what I'll do is I bought a towel and I folded it just because I don't want to ruin the surfaces. And you literally grab your candle wax carefully, guys, and remove it from the stove and place it on your kitchen towel nicely. And I am at 70 degrees Celsius. Wait, you can't see what I'm doing. 1 second, guys. I'm at 70 degrees Celsius, so what I do is I will grab my piece of paper and then I'll note down 70 degrees. I find that temperatures with waxes is so important for me because I just want to know, have I overheated the wax? Why is my wax curing the way it does? I just like to keep up with the curing process of the candle, the rough tops and everything that comes with a candle. I usually pour my essential oils in my RCX wax at 48 degrees, and by the time I mix for 2 minutes and I've poured into my candle jar, I'm at around 45 degrees, give or take. I'm at 66 degrees right now, so we've got a little bit to wait, and the actual wax doesn't start cooling in my jar until actually 30 degrees. So when I pour my fragrance in at that lower temperature, I'm not gonna worry as I'm mixing that my candle is starting to harden up. And the reason why I pour my essential oils into my candle wax at a cool or warm temperature, if you like, is because your essential oils are very sensitive, you guys. There's no chemicals in your essential oils, so it wouldn't hold high heats as your fragrance oil does. I can pour my fragrance oil up to 65 degrees and the fragrance will still be there. But with essential oils, if I was to pour it in at 65 degrees, I've burnt off all my fragrance. But you need to find a really good balance when you're pouring in your essential oils, because you still need your fragrance or your essential oil to bind with the wax. And for it to do that, it needs to be warm enough for it to bind and make friends. And I find that 48 degrees is just perfect. I love making my essential oil candles. They literally make me super happy. I love how organic it is. I love how delicate their fragrance is and the hot throw is. And RCX wax works perfectly with my essential oil candles. I literally say this in almost like every video. Okay, my lovelies, I am getting ready to pour my fragrance in. I'm literally at 49 degrees. And you know, guys, while we're waiting, I actually need to make a diffuser for my bedroom. My diffuser that I made a few months ago for my bedroom has completely run out, so I washed my diffuser bottle and I'm ready to make a new one. So while we're making essential oil candles, I might as well make the diffusers with you. Don't forget to note down at what temperature you poured your essential oil or fragrance oil. So I'm gonna put 48 degrees in my case. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and remove my thermometer, pour my fragrance in and give it a mix for 2 minutes. Let me put my timer on. I have finished mixing for 2 minutes. I'm gonna put my thermometer back into my candle jug because I wanna know at what temperature I'm on after mixing for 2 minutes and at what temperature I am going to pour my wax into my candle jar. This wick, you guys, it's not been very, there we go. After mixing for 2 minutes, I'm at 45 degrees. I'm happy to pour my candle wax in. If you guys can see that. Alright, my lovelies, I have measured my wax for the second candle and I'm just gonna pop it onto my double boiler and turn my stove on at low heat. So while this is melting, I'm gonna pop my thermometer on here and then get to measuring my fragrance. Now this fragrance we are going to be blending 2 essential oils, so I'm gonna go for the rose geranium and lavender. And actually this blend right here was the first candle that I actually made, which always takes me back to my beginner journey of candle making and falling in love with candles and essential oil candles. So I definitely have to blend the two together. Now when you're mixing 2 essential oils, you guys, or more than 2 essential oils, you just basically test and mix as you please with your nose. Now I know, because I've worked with rose geranium for a very long time now, I know rose geranium will overpower the lavender, and I really want a good balance between the lavender and the rose geranium. So what I usually do, as you know, I need 7 milliliters worth of fragrance altogether. So I need 7 milliliters worth of essential oils, right? And the 2 blends that I'm using is lavender and then rose geranium, which I usually place like so. Because I know rose geranium is a very strong fragrance, it literally overpowers the lavender. What I want is less rose geranium and more lavender. So what I do is I will go for 2 milliliters worth of rose geranium, and then I will have 5 milliliters worth of lavender. So then my paper will look a little bit like this. And when I'm measuring fragrance, you guys, if I'm using a base, middle and a top note, I usually start off with my base note and I work up towards my top note. In this case, because I don't have a base note, I'm gonna start with the middle note, which is rose geranium, and then I'll work my way up to lavender, which is the top note. Does that make sense? So you literally grab your measuring beaker, grab your rose geranium, and then just measure 2 milliliters worth. And then you'll move on to the lavender true, or this is lavender French, sorry. And then you finish it off at the 7 milliliters. Right, and this is 7 milliliters worth of fragrance, all measured. And the reason why I like to write it out like that, you guys, because I won't forget what I've literally noted in my mind. I like to put everything on a piece of paper. We're not going to remember everything, so it's nice to kind of lay out all your notes and see how you balance each of them out. And literally it's all trial and error. I would say work with the notes that you're most confident with and start adding a little bit more notes to your blend. And oh, you guys, it's such a fun experiment when you're experimenting with a blend with different blends of fragrances. It's just so lovely to get creative with your nose. I'm using this diffuser jar from Candle Shack. I'll leave it down below. This is 100 milliliters, and I also have a beaker that goes up to 100 milliliters, so I can literally mix my fragrance here with you. I'm using the Ecosystem Vegan Diffuser Base by Candle Shack. I'll leave it down below, and because it's 100 milliliters, I usually do 20% of fragrance, 80% of diffuser base. And the fragrance of choice I'm actually going to use is also from Nikura. I'm gonna go for the Jasmine Night Blooming that I haven't tested yet, so I would love to smell it in a diffuser. So we'll do that together, guys, while the wax is melting. So 80. There we go. The top has popped off with my fork, and I'll just measure my 20 milliliters worth of fragrance, which is up to there. Then I'm gonna grab my reed diffusers, and the reeds that I have are rattan reeds, and they're a little bit thicker than my usual. Let me make sure my wax is still melting. Give it a good mix. Okay, good. So these are the rattan reeds that I'm going to be using. They're wood, they're not fiber, which is lovely. So what I'm gonna do, you guys, is give it a good mix here. The Jasmine Night Blooming, you guys, it's a lot softer than your usual jasmine. So what I'm gonna do is, after mixing and making sure that the mixture is clear, you grab your diffuser and you literally pour the fragrance straight in. I think I could fit one more. So I've got 4. I think I can fit another one. Can I? Or am I being... I think I can. There we go. Just give it a good mix, guys, and then remove it. And then place them like so. I'm literally gonna put that in my bedroom because my bedroom just needs a bit of a fresh fragrance, and jasmine will be good for that. And there we go. Voila, look how beautiful that looks. I am at 48 degrees with my wax. I am ready to pour my rose geranium and lavender blend, and then give it a mix for 2 minutes. And I'm ready to pour into my candle jug. It smells fresh, it smells floral, it smells calming and healing. It just smells incredible. I hope that you enjoyed making essential oil candles with me. I've literally placed my candles on the side and I'm going to show you how it looks like in terms of tops. I'm going to insert a clip right here for how the candles look like. Honestly, I love making essential oil candles, not only because you get to experiment with your nose and with the blends of fragrances and with bringing together so many notes to make this gorgeous smelling candle, but also making essential oil candles has so many healing properties, especially when you're using notes like lavender or patchouli or bergamot. It's just an incredible experience, I think, when you sit down and really test your nose and really experiment and have fun and be creative. I love the process of making essential oil candles. It is slightly more on the expensive side than it is making a fragrance oil, but honestly, I just love that the first candle that I ever made was an essential oil candle, and I'm so glad that I still have the same love and passion for making an essential oil candle still in me. It's absolutely incredible. I think I was speaking to one of you beautiful people and you said like I can make a candle line of like healing or mood type of collection, and honestly I think I'm definitely going to be thinking about that because I love how you can bring just so many notes and kind of making it into healing candle or a calming candle or an uplifting candle. This is my step-by-step with making essential oil candles. I can maybe go into more details on blending essential oils or how to get so many different notes blend and smell good together. I would love to make a video like that. Please let me know if you'd like to see it as well. With that said, my lovelies, make sure that you click that subscribe button down below, like, comment and share, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.